For this project, I'm using Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable. It's just a 4-ply worsted weight acrylic yarn, and the color I'm using is Parrot. But you can use any type of 4-ply yarn that you have. And then I'm going to be using a size H. It is a 5mm crochet hook. Okay, this top is pretty easy. So it's made with 2 large granny squares. Now these are just basic granny squares that I made, and you can use any type of granny square that you want, but I'll show you here in just a little bit how to do this basic one in case you're new. But and I'm making this to fit my small medium mannequin, but you can make yours any size that you want, and I'll show you how I find the measurements for that. So I'm going to put my mannequin up here. Try to show you here with my camera and my mannequin, but I ain't got a lot of room. So what I did is I just made my granny square to fit my mannequin, and you want to make it to fit you, and you want it to hang over, put it up across the neck like this, and you want it to where it kind of comes up over, hangs over your shoulder just a bit, just like that. And what I'll do is sew it like start sewing it like right about here. So this is all going to be open for the neck, and then when I get to here, about the third one over, in between the second and third group over, is where I'll sew it again. And then I'll leave an armhole, and then I'll sew down the side. So what you want to do is you want to make your squares where they'll fit across the top of you. So if you're making it, like I said, mine's for this smaller mannequin. If you're going to be making it for a larger statue, you're going to have to do more rows. But for my size, I did 16 rounds of these. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But if you're going to make it for plus size or something, you're going to need a few more rows to where it hangs over just about an inch or so off your shoulders from each side. Okay, for the basic granny square that I did, I'm going to start with a slip knot. And I'm going to start off with a chain of 4. And I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain to form a ring. And I'm going to start by chaining 3, and that's going to count as a double crochet. I'm going to go back into the center of the ring and do 2 more double crochets through the center. Like that. So counting that chain 3, I have a total of 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to do a chain 2, and that chain 2 is going to form a corner. Now I'm going to go back and do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Oh. And then I'm going to chain 2 again. 1, 2. And then I'm going to do 3 more doubles. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2 again. And now I'm going to do 3 more doubles again. 1, 2, and 3. And then I got a chain 2, and now I'm going to slip stitch into my beginning and the top of my chain 3, just like that. So what I have is 4 sets of 3 double crochet with a chain 2 in between them. Now if you pull your tail, you can usually make the center circle a little bit smaller. I just broke mine off, but now you want to start again with a chain of 4. Now this chain of 4 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. So now I'm going to jump over here to this chain 2 space and put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do a chain 2 because I'm doing a corner. I'm going to go back into the same spot and put 3 more double crochets again. 1, 2, and 3. So this is a corner. This is how we're going to do every corner. It's going to be 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 more doubles. Now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to jump over here to this next space and do another corner. So it's going to be 3 doubles, chain 2, and then 3 more doubles back in that same stitch. Like that. Chain 1 in between. Jump over here to this next chain 2 spot and do it again. 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. Go back and do 3 more doubles in the same spot. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 in between, and you come over here and you can see that we have 1 corner left, so we're going to do the same thing again. Three doubles, chain 2. Now we need to do this chain 4. 3 of the chains counts as 1 of the double crochets, so we need to just go back and do 2 more doubles in this spot. 1, 2, and then we'll slip stitch into the 3rd stitch of this chain 4, and that counts as our 3rd double crochet, just like that. And since we did a chain 4, there's a chain 1 in between, just like we wanted. Now we're going to start again by chaining 3, and we're going to go in this chain 1 spot. Only the corners get this. The chain 1 spots in between, they just get 3 doubles. This counts as my first double, so I'm going to go back and do 2 more. 1, 2. So there's 3 double crochets in that chain 1 spot. So I'm going to chain 1 again, and now I'm in a corner. So I need to do my 3 doubles, a chain 2, and 3 more doubles. So there's 3 doubles, chain 2, and then 3 more doubles. Oops. Chain 1, and now I'm in between the corners right here, and it just gets 3 double crochets. Since it's not a corner, it's just going to get 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 in between. Now I'm in a corner spot, so I got to do my 3 doubles, chain 2, and then go back and do 3 more doubles, chain 1 in between. Now I'm right here, I'm not in a corner, so I'm just going to put 3 double crochets in this spot. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 in between. Now I'm in a corner, so I'm going to do 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 more doubles, chain 1 in between. Right here is just going to be 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 in between, and now I'm in my last corner right here. So I'm going to do my 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. Chain 1 in between, and now I can slip stitch into the top of my chain 3. It's like that. You can kind of pull your corners out and you can see what it looks like. Now I'm going to start again. I'm going to start again with a chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a double crochet and a chain 1. So now I just start right here in this space. Every other row is going to be a chain 4, and every other row is going to be a chain 3 we start with. And you'll be able to tell. You can see right here where we slip stitch into here. So we have to jump over to here. So we have to start with a chain 4 and come over to this one and put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then we're in a corner spot. So we'll just do our corner of 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 more doubles, chain 1 in between. Now we have two spots in between the corners, so each one of these spots will get 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and you chain 1 in between, and you come to the next spot, do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 in between, and then we'll do our corner again. So every time around you're going to increase the middles. Each in between each corner is going to increase by 1 set every time around. So the next round there'll be 3 sets of 3 double crochet in between the corners, and so on and so on. So you just keep going around, and when you get back to the beginning, you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of your chain 4, just like we did down here, and then you start by chaining 3 and going around again. Slip stitch into your chain 3, then you start by chaining 4 and going around again, and it's just going to keep getting wider and wider and wider. And you can do that for as many rows as you need. So for my size, I did 16 rows. Okay, now I'm going to be sewing it together, and I'm going to sew it together with the wrong side of my work facing out, so I can flip it inside out and the right side will be facing me. But they kind of look similar, so whichever side you like better. And you just kind of put them together. Now, like I said in the beginning here, I'm going to start sewing right here in between. Here's like 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, in between the 2nd and the 3rd groups of 3 on both pieces. And I'm just going to sew it over like that. And I'm going to do that on both sides. But if you hold it up to you, because if you're making it bigger, you're going to have more groups, you can sew it when you hold it up to you to wherever you want your neckline to start. So that's completely up to you. Like, this is going to be by my neck hole, and I'm going to have a little bit this part on the shoulders. If you want a bigger or a smaller neck hole, that's completely up to you. But if you're making it my size, this is where I'm starting on both sides, and I'm just going to leave this whole opening open for my neck. Sew it together. Can kind of sew it together. I'm just going to use I'm going to slip stitch it together. You could use single crochet if you wanted. So I'm just going to start right here. And I'm just going to start by chaining 1. And I'm just going to go into a stitch on this piece and a stitch on the opposite piece and slip stitch. Now remember, we're sewing it wrong sides facing, so when I flip it inside out, the right sides are going to be facing me, and the seam will be on the inside. I go into the next stitch and the next stitch on the other piece and slip stitch. And I'm going to do this all the way to the end. And when you get to these openings, just go straight through the openings on both of them, like that. And when you get to the corner, go ahead and do a slip stitch into the corner, both corner pieces. And then I'm going to tie this side off, and I want to do the other side too the same. And then for the armholes, go ahead and show you real quick. That would have to be adjusted with whatever size you're doing too, but I'll show you how to do that real quick. Okay, for the armhole, I have this on my mannequin. What you want to do is, you can see when you once you get your top sewed and you can slip the shirt over your head to measure, I kind of just put it together here. You're going to put it together on your arms too, to where it fits comfortable and it's loose enough for you. So, you know, it's about like that. You don't want it to be real tight on you or anything. And then you can, I'll go ahead and once you get it measured, kind of put it like a little stitch marker here to tie it together so you don't lose your spot. And you want to make sure that you do the same number on each side. So once you figure out where you want it. For my size, I did the small medium that I'm making. I did these groups of 3 here. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups of them, and then I tied off from my arm marker right here in this chain space. But if you're making it bigger, you're going to need more groups than that, but just to where it fits comfortably under your arm there. And then what we're going to do, now what I'm going to do, with the wrong side still facing me, I'm going to, before I put the sleeves on, I'm going to sew up from my marker all the way down on both sides. And I'm going to slip stitch it together, just like I did the top. So I'm just going to start, and the spot that I have my stitch marker, that's where I'm going to start. I'm going through both of them. Chain in one, and now I'm just going to slip stitch it together, just like I slip stitched the top, all the way down to the bottom. Stitch on this one, stitch on the other one, slip stitch. And when you get into the chain space, just go right through it, slip stitch. And then do this all the way down, and you want to do that on both sides. And then all you'll have left is the armhole openings once you get done slip stitching this together. Just like that. So I'm going to finish this all the way down until I get down to here, to this corner, and I'll tie off, and I'm going to put to the other side too. Okay, once you get your sides sewed up, you can flip it right side out, and then the seam will be on the inside here, and you won't be able to see it that well. But now I'm going to start on the sleeves. So you can go ahead and take the tie out here, since you already have this side sewed up. You don't need the tie there anymore, and you can take it out. And I'm just going to continue this same pattern for the sleeves. So you can start anywhere that you want. Everywhere that there's a chain space, that's where I'm going to put my 3 double crochets. So I'm just going to start right here, up here in the corner. You can actually start any chain space that you want. Chain 3, and go ahead and put 2 more doubles. So we're just doing the same pattern that we did before. So that's a total of 3 double crochets into that chain space. Now I'm going to chain 1, come over here to the next one, 3 doubles, chain 1, jump to the next chain space, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles in the next, chain 1, and I'm going to do this all the way around, putting 3 double crochets in each of the chain 1 spaces. And when you get to here, you can see where it's tied up and there's 2 spaces tied up together. Go ahead and put 3 double crochets in this one and 3 double crochets in that one too. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then jump over here to this next chain 1 space on the other side, and just continue putting 3 double crochets in that space. And I'm just going to continue this pattern until I get all the way back around to my starting point. Okay, I'm coming up to my starting point, and I'm going to go ahead and put 3 double crochets in this chain space, chain 1, and then I'm going to slip stitch into my first chain 3. Then I'm going to do what we did before, chain 4, which is a double crochet and a chain 1, and jump over here to the next chain 1 space and do my 3 double crochets. And I'm just going to do the same pattern that we did for the big square all the way around again. And I'm going to do that. You can do that for however many rows, however long you want your sleeve to be. I'm going to do for my sleeve a total of 8 rounds of these same stitches as we did for the square. But you can do as many as you want for as long or as short as you want your sleeves. Okay, after you made it and you did all the rows that you want to do on your sleeve, I finished my 8. I'm going to go around it with a row of single crochet just to clean it up. So I just chain 1 after I slip stitch and go back into the same stitch and single crochet, and now I'm just going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around, just like that, including the chain 1 space. Just go right through it and single crochet just like this, just to make the sleeve edge look cleaner. And you want to do this until you get back to your starting point. Okay, once you make it back around, after 1 single crochet in every stitch of the sleeve, you just want to slip stitch into your first single crochet, and then you can tie this off, and then you want to hide your tails and everything, and you want to do both sleeves exactly the same. Okay, once you get your sleeves done, one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this whole neck area around with single crochet. So you can start in any stitch that you want. Probably just start right up here somewhere and pull your yarn through. Start with the chain 1. I'm going to go back into that same stitch and single crochet, and now I'm going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around this whole neck area and through the chain 1 space too. Just go ahead and put 1 single crochet, and this is going to clean up the edges. So 1 single crochet all the way around the top here, and I'm just going to go right around the whole neck opening until I get back to the beginning, with 1 single crochet in every stitch, and then I'll just slip stitch into my first single crochet and tie off. And then one last thing I'll do is I'll do the exact same thing on the bottom. And you don't even have to do this. This is just going to make the bottom look a little bit cleaner. I'll do 1 single crochet all the way around the whole bottom back to my beginning. Okay, once you run around the neck up here and the bottom, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. So it's pretty easy. It did take me a couple days, but I got it done. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I hope you're able to follow along. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check me out on Facebook.